What if I told you that I can come up with a lot of ideas just using these two words, Spike Lee? I can come up with a name, a place, a historical moment, an actor, a part of history from just using Spike Lee. Whether it's letters from his name or surname, or whether it's the idea that I have that's going to spark more ideas going forward. That's what I believe I can do just using this name. Welcome. This is part 2 of my idea. Coming up with 100 plus ideas using words or names. So this was part 1. As you can see, I hope you checked out the video. If you haven't, you can check it out before you see this one. All right. So these are all the ideas that I came up with Spike Lee as the foundation, as the root. Now, I'm going to do a part 2. Last time I ended here by Bruce Lee. I said Bruce Lee is an actor and he was in the Green Hornet, the TV series. Then he ventured into movies. He did Enter the Dragon, The Big Boss, Game of Life. Game of Life had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was a former basketball player, and he had a move called the Skyhook. And then there's an anime called Slam Dunk, and in that anime, there's a character called Sakuragi Hanamichi, who was inspired by Dennis Rodman, and Dennis Rodman was with the Chicago Bulls at the time, and the Chicago Bulls also had Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen in there as well. So I bet now you can see where I'm coming from. I think one thing I'll just mention before I carry on is that he also had a cameo. He had a cameo in The Big Bang Theory. All right. Anyway, so coming back to this, Lee. So we've mentioned Bruce Lee, right? By the way, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you can get notified of any other videos such as these, if they will be coming out. This is the Mr. Extraordinary Knowledge channel, where I'm talking about anything that can cause us to think more, to learn more, to have knowledge. Whether I'm talking about books, courses, random popular culture related stuff that maybe you could learn from. All right, so Bruce Lee is the father of Brandon Lee, right? Brandon Lee was also an actor, and he had these 2 movies that I'm thinking of. The Crow, I believe that was his last film, and then he has this movie that nobody talks about, Showdown in Little Tokyo. With Dolph Lundgren. I'm definitely butchering the surname, but anyway. And in The Crow, he was also with, I think it's Tui Tai Krang. I think it's spelled something like this. Tui, right? Something like that. I don't want to butcher her surname. But she was the Yellow Ranger. In Power Rangers. I believe this was... Oh, it's Tui, right? I think that's how you spell her name. She played the role of Trini. All right. Before she played the role, there was a lady. What was her name again? I think it's Dubois, something Dubois. If I don't remember her name, then I won't put it here. But anyway, this is a show that was created by Haim Saban. Alright, this, by the way, is Mighty Morphin. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So, what Haim Saban did is he took an existing TV series in Japan, right? Which is basically one of the sequels of something called Sentai. It's an entire franchise. And the original series was called Zyuranger. So he took footage from Zyuranger, especially when they're in their costumes, and got Americans to dub over it. These Americans were the actors of this show. And then the non-morphing sequences, he added his own storyline and scenes in there. And yeah, he came up with a show. And it had the Red Ranger, who's my favorite Ranger of all time, actually, in this entire franchise. Jason Lee Scott. So his name, funny enough, was taken from Jason Scott Lee. Jason Scott Lee is an actor who played Bruce Lee. Huh? See how it goes back? In a movie about Bruce Lee. But anyway, Jason was portrayed by Austin St. John. Right? That's the Red Ranger. He was in high school when he got to audition for this role, and he got the gig and he became the leader, the main protagonist of the show. Right? And then there's the Green Ranger, who's, I guess you could say, for me, was my second favorite of the show, Tommy Oliver. He was portrayed by Jason David Frank. R.I.P., man. One of the coolest guys ever. Okay. Then you had the Blue Ranger. The smart one. I see him more as the Iron Man of this universe. Very, very smart. Was played by David Yost. Then you have his name in the show was Billy Cranston. And then you have the Pink Ranger. Kimberly Hart. Who was played by Jesus. How can I forget? One of the most beautiful women on the planet. Is it Amy? Amy Johnson? I think so. And you had the Black Ranger, who was one of the coolest Power Rangers ever. Oh man, if you're in South Africa, chances are, and you're a guy, chances are you're either liked Jason, Tommy, or Zach. I do know there were a lot of other guys that liked Billy, but the most popular ones, Zach was probably number one, if I'm honest. It was probably Zach, Tommy, Jason, or something like that. Or Zach, Jason, Tommy, I don't know. Is that Zach Taylor? Zach Taylor? I think so. It was played by Walter Emmanuel Jones. This man does not age, guys. Still looks good. Still got the moves. This character created something called Hip Hop Kido, where he dances, he fights while dancing, which I feel like you exert a lot of energy while doing that, don't you? But it worked, man. He was cool. He was the guy. And he still is the guy. Anyway, so that's Power Rangers. Oh man, I gotta give, people hardly talk about his other role that he played in a series called Space Cases. Why don't we ever talk about Space Cases? I love that show. Anyway, coming back here. All right, we're still looking at the surname Lee. There is Malcolm D. Lee. He's also a director. Guess what he directed? Best Man and Best Man Holiday. And I think he did the Best Man final chapters. It's my least favorite, but great franchise. He also directed Barbershop 3. Right? In this movie, you had Ice Cube, you had Common, you had Eve. Right? You also had Nicki Minaj. You had Dion Cole. You had Cedric, the Entertainer. You had Regina Hall. So these people that I've mentioned alone, they can give me other ideas, all right? So unless I reach the 50-minute mark, if I don't reach the 50-minute mark, the 30-minute mark, then I might dive deeper into this. But I think for now, I'll just focus on Regina Hall. Love her. She played Brenda in scary movies. With Anna Faris co-starring. Alright, this is a project that was done by the Wayans brothers. Oh, Wayans brothers. Okay, now the Wayans brothers I mean, there are a lot of them in the family. I don't think Kenan is the oldest. I think the oldest is an artist. I just don't know his name, but you have Kenan. I guess you could say he's the leader, man. He's the one that really set the benchmark for his brothers and sisters. I'm in the kitchen. I was in the bedroom initially. Now I'm in the kitchen. So, he did in living color. Okay. Got you, Sokka. Okay. He's a writer. Stand-up comedian. He's an actor. Director. Alright. I got you, Sokka, in living color. This is where he put his siblings on. His siblings being Damon Wayans, right. No, it's probably Kim, right? That comes after Damon. I don't know. Sean, the handsome brother. And Marlon. So, Damon. Man, am I messing up the orientation? Damon was... He was in the Damon Show. Do you guys remember the Damon Show? The Damon Show. He was a cop with David Allen Greer there. He also did Major Payne. He was in Beverly Hills Cop as the Banana Man. As the Banana Man, as I've said. So just say B-Man. Alright. He was in The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis. He was in My Wife and Kids. He had a cameo in what's that show that I really liked so much? Happy Endings, where his son was actually one of the leads in that thing. He was also in Bulletproof with Adam Sandler. Right. He was also in Lethal Weapon, the series, as Murtaugh. And he was actually on Club Shay Shay recently. Okay. He was also on Saturday Night Live. But he left. Then you have Sean. Sean is a writer, an actor, stand-up comic. Sit your cold chairs down. Geez, man. A brilliant writer. I mean, it wasn't the Wayans brothers. We brothers. We happy and single and a colored. Give me a high five. That also had John Witherspoon there. He was also in White Chicks. Triple TK. Time to totally kick ass. He was also in Scary Movie as Ray. Right? Okay. I know I'm missing a lot from Sean, but nothing comes to mind at the moment. Then you have Marlon, man. Marlon was in Naked. Norbit. He's also an actor, writer, stand-up comic. Okay. He was also in Bel Air as Will's dad. Man, he's in a lot of things. He's also in White Chicks. He's also in Scary Movie. Doesn't he have a sitcom called Marlon? I think so. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. I mean, he was also in Above the Rim. I just don't have space anymore. Above the Rim. Fun fact, he was supposed to play Robin in a third Batman movie that never got made. Instead, they decided to do Batman Forever. And that's when Val Kilmer came in. Right? May he rest in peace, by the way. Val Kilmer came in. The project was directed by Joel Schumacher. I think you spell it like that if I'm not mistaken. And Chris O'Donnell was Robin. It also had Tommy Lee Jones. Alright, and had Jim Carrey. And who could forget the Bad Nipples? And the amazing Seal when he made that song called Kiss from a Rose. Kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I think of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Okay. Then Joel Schumacher did a sequel to this called Batman and Robin. Now that you... And then it had the beautiful Alicia Silverstone. What a beautiful woman. Who starred in Clueless. and Blast from the Past. She also voiced the titular character in a cartoon series called Braceface. Braceface, my life is complicated, boyfriend. Don't wanna talk about it, teenage. I'll work it out in the end. And then Val Kilmer was replaced by George Clooney. He was still on ER at the time, but he managed to get some time to play Bruce Wayne, Batman. And they also had Uma Thurman in this. And she would later star in Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill 1 and 2. She was also in My Super Ex-Girlfriend. I think she was also in The Producers, right? With Matthew Broderick and Nathan Lane. Alright, so Nathan Lane, okay, who voiced Timon in Lion King. He was also in Teacher's Pet. I gotta be a boy. I gotta be a boy. He was also in The Good Wife. And was in Modern Family. As Pepper. And then you also have Arnold. I'll just call him Arnie because I know I'm gonna butcher his surname. The Terminator. He was Mr. Freeze in this one. Well, Uma Thurman was Poison Ivy. Okay? Ignore this. This is Alicia Silverstone. Mr. Freeze. Everybody just cool. Stay cool. He was also in Kindergarten Cop. Is it Garten? Alright. He was also in True Lies. Total Recall. Twins. Now, how many ideas do you think I came up with so far? I mean, I can still go on, but I just want to show you that this started with just Spike Lee, and then it went and went. Spike Lee again keeps going and going and going and going and going. I might do a part 3, but I'll think about it. Anyway, this is part 2. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share your ideas of whoever you think I could do next. I do have other people that I would like to do, but I just wanted to show an example of what I was talking about. Alright, see you on the next one. Cheers.